What's up guys, it's Nintendo, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet really seem to be picking things up with the whole rumor and leaks thing that's been happening. We've got some stuff from a guy named TheSVGuy that we're going to dive into. Thanks to you guys over on Twitter, you voted for our next poll on the video, and you guys chose for Pokemon rumor and leak discussion. But before we dive into the leaks, I want to first bring up our comment of the day. If you guys don't remember, last time I asked you who is your favorite evil team and why. Today's comment of the day goes to Drago Leon X, or Dragon Leon X. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. They say here that their favorite evil team is Team Cypher for Pokemon Colosseum and XD. And this is a big comment, so I won't read the entire thing, but based off what they say, they seem to be a pretty menacing evil team. I never actually got to, play the games, but judging by this, I honestly feel like I should give this game a try. If you guys want to be featured in the next video, answer today's question in the comments down below, which is, what is your favorite type? It can be anything from water, fairy, ghost, psychic. Types we have, I'll really love to hear you guys' questions and just talk about your favorite type and how strong it is, how weak it is. You can be an underdog and love bug and grass type. I didn't know that grass type has so many weaknesses, but it apparently does. So yeah, if you guys want to be featured in the next video, answer down below what is your favorite type. And without further ado, let's dive into the rumors. Today's rumors come from this Twitter account called TheSVGuy. SV of course standing for Scarlet and Violet, and they claim that they know a lot about the game. Today we're going to be going over around their first 7 or so tweets because they have been tweeting a bunch of stuff ever since then. I don't really think that any of this is real in the slightest, but for the sake of this video, we're going to go through and give our thoughts on it, because even if I don't believe they're real, there is that teensy tiny possibility that it might actually be, but I of course don't. Their pinned tweet says this: "Welcome here. I created this account because I know quite a few things about the next big Pokemon game, Scarlet and Violet. I'm gonna give infos here soon, so stay tuned. Until then, goodbye." And that's just their intro tweet, nothing really much to read there, but their second tweet, which they tweeted a day later, says, "In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you'll encounter a bunch of regional variants, while also being able to find the old ones in the wild. In certain points of the Vidal region, which they name drop Vidal, you can find normal forms of Pokemon. In other, a new form. See you tomorrow." And then their next tweet, they tweet also in the same day, like they tweet that in the same day, like literally an hour apart, but I don't know. "In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, a lot of regional variants / evolutions are from Gen 3 and Gen 4 Pokemon. From what I've seen, Meowth got a new form, Tauros gets a new evolution, Poochyena gets a new form, and others that will show up later on. See you soon." For the sake of this, again, I really think that we should get more Gen 3 and 4 mons. If you guys haven't caught on, Legends Arceus and Sword and Shield, most of the Pokemon that got new regional forms were Gen 5 and Gen 2 for some reason. And of course there was Linoone from Gen 3 with Obstagoon and stuff. So again, I really would like there to be more Gen 3 and 4 Pokemon, but one thing that catches me off guard is the fact that it says that you'll be able to catch regional variants and old forms in the wild. That kind of ruins the point of regional variants, because if you can catch both regional and original in the wild, then what's the point of having the regional there? Kind of ruins the point to me. I don't know if that ruins the point of you guys. I feel like, yeah, we should still have that option to get the old mons, but this just doesn't really sit right with me. I don't know why. That's their first leak, which is very obvious that we're gonna get regional forms, and you don't really need to be a brainer to think that, yeah, it might be a Gen 3 mon or a Gen 4 mon, because currently most of the mons that have regional forms are Kanto, Unova, and Johto, and not really much. Only one Gen 6 mon has two Gen 6 mons, that being Avalok and Glucha, and none of Gen 7, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I believe I'm not, but again, anything's possible with this. But let's move on to the big thread. They tweeted this on the 17th as well, and it was a huge thread. They talk about the gimmick and a lot of other stuff. It says here on the first tweet, "The stars are a teaser for the new gimmick, which will allow your Pokemon to change typings depending on the crystal you're using. You can get all 18 crystals during your adventure after defeating the gym leaders. Yes, there are 18 gym leaders plus 4 Elite 4 members afterwards. During your adventures, you will find them in a while in order to battle them at the Rainbow Pokeball in the middle of the biggest city of Vidal. But don't worry, all 18 gym leaders aren't only battles. You'll have to pass a test before each battle. For example, before battling the electric gym leader, you'll have to fix a wind turbine." And I'm going to stop there for a bit. There are 2 more after this, but I don't really agree with the fact that we're going to have 18 gyms. I feel like we should just have the ability to fight all 8 gym leaders out of order, and if there is no Elite 4, That's great. I really do miss the Elite Four. I know we didn't have one in Gen 8, and obviously Legends Arceus didn't have one because it was set in the past. I do miss the Elite Four. I know a lot of people like the whole tournament style thing we had going on in Sword and Shield because it felt more like the anime, but I don't know. Elite Four members kind of seem cool, and I really like them. And if they can make them hard as they were in BDSP, but tone it down a slight bit because that was kind of overkill, I would really enjoy that. What do you guys think? And again, the whole 18 gym things plus 4 Elite Four members, there are 18 types. So what would the 4 Elite Four members be? Will they just be randomized gym leaders that you didn't fight? It says you can fight all 18. Am I supposed to assume that we're just gonna fight 8 and then we can choose to move on, or we can fight all 18 as optional bosses? And then still, that really doesn't sit right with me at all, having to have 18 gym leaders and then 4 Elite Four members, because we don't even have that many types. So why should we have that many type specialists? I can't be the only one that thinks that that's just a little bit strange. But let's move on to the 4th bullet point here. It says when you see one of the crystals on your Pokemon, its shade will match the typing he now has, but not all of them. Some Pokemon will change forms when you see a crystal on them. There are around 25 new forms. And I didn't bring this up first, but for that, they did bring up the whole gimmick being a type change thing. I personally don't have an issue with that, or I didn't at first. When I saw Johto Johnny cover this, and I was just thinking to myself, yeah, that really doesn't seem like that bad of a gimmick, until I realized that every Pokemon kind of having a unique type would kind of ruin that Pokemon and really destroy competitive, I guess, because at that point, what's the point of having a typing if any Pokemon can become any type? Like, it just seems like a really, really busted mega evolution mess, to be honest. Like, Pokemon change shades and colors, that's like the new typing, and then there are these like certain Pokemon that can, just like Gigantamax, where certain Pokemon can grow big but also change form. I can see that happening and change forms and typing, but I'm not a fan of this gimmick. I don't really know what the gimmick will be. I brought it up in my video with TheSVGuy, but I kind of forgot what I said, but I don't know what a gimmick can be. I really hope it isn't this whole type changing thing. Now, if it's a new typing that's centered around this gimmick, that might be pretty cool, but for now, I don't really think I'm a fan of this whole Pokemon can become any type now. That kind of seems like it'll be a super hot mess to me. We're gonna move on to, was it the 4th or the 5th bullet point? It was the 5th. But you don't have to change your typings anywhere. This gimmick is restricted to some places. You'll be able to use it on certain points of the doll and the Rainbow Pokeball where you fight the gym leaders. So judging by this, the gym leaders won't be in cities, they'll just be all around the map, and we'll have to find them and fight them in this one town. I don't like that at all. I really miss the exploration part of Pokemon, where we can just walk around and see all these cool towns and experience lore. I don't want open world to sacrifice the world itself. Yeah, you can have an open world game, but if there's no cool environments in the open world, then what's the point of that world? I'll just feel like I'm playing just a giant wilderness simulator game with Pokemon in it instead of animals. It really wouldn't be that exciting to me if we're just walking around this giant region and there's just one small city. That would be so boring, like absolutely awful. I would hate that. And then we have to fight the gym leaders in just one town. I can see that giant building, the Barcelona building, I believe, being the Elite Four hub, just like how Winden was the Pokemon League. I can see that happening, but I honestly really hope that this isn't the case and we don't have to fight all of the gym leaders in one town, because that would make this the most boring gym challenge ever. They'll have to make this super fun for this to actually work, because this seems like a super boring concept, having to walk around and find gym leaders and fight them in one location and do tasks and stuff. I don't like that. Might sound cool to some people, but to me that sucks, because even with like Breath of the Wild, which I hate to compare to Breath of the Wild, but even in Breath of the Wild, when you fight the Divine Beast, they're all in these unique areas, these unique villages. You get to see like the Zora and stuff with these unique biomes and stuff, and it makes you feel like so immersed in the world. I don't want to travel this new region and only experience one town. You can't tell me that there's this huge country and there's only one town in that country and everybody just lives in that one giant town. That's not how society works. There has to be villages and stuff and mountains and things like that. I really don't think that there's going to be just one single town. I mean, we've only seen one town, well technically two if you want to count our hometown, because that's usually 3 or 4 like houses, and that's just one singular city. Technically we've seen 1, maybe 2 towns, but I really don't think that this region is just going to be 1 town. I don't think they're going to pull a Jubilife village and we're just going to be stuck to like 1 singular town. I think there's going to be more towns, going to be gyms we can fight and stuff like that in these towns, and I hope that it isn't like Sword and Shield where like the only towns that exist are gym towns, because Sword and Shield had like a path and you have to follow that path to a T. I really hope it's like the other regions where we can just branch off and explore these optional towns, where these optional areas that we can just chill at, like Anvil Town and Black and White, Lacanosa Town, Celestica Town and stuff like that, and even Jubilife Town, like Jubilife City, I mean, like stuff like that. I want there to be these optional towns we can visit. I know that might be too much to ask for a big open world game, but heck, even Breath of the Wild did that with like Kakariko Village and that in like Terry Town, I believe it was called, where you can visit, and there's that one optional beachside town. So they can make these biomes and these optional cities. Just because it's an open world game doesn't mean you have to be full on wilderness. Yeah, it was called Breath of the Wild, but there was still society in the wild. So that's going to be it for this video. Again, I do want to cover the rest of the rumors because they do seem to get really interesting. They saw some stuff about a champion, and I think there's stuff about legendaries, but this video is already getting pretty long and I really wanted to cover what I can for now. If you guys want to see more about this SV guy, I would love to go over more with you guys. I'm going to put a continuation of this in the poll over on Twitter. If you guys want to follow me, it's twitter.com/Nintendo64. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to comment of the day. What's your favorite type? If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to like, sub, hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys when I see you. See ya. Or bye. I don't know.